wishing to conduct business will be asked to come to the microphone, provide their name and address, present their requests and concerns, and answer any questions of the Planning Commission. Groups are requested to select spokespersons to express the group's concerns, because each side will be allowed 10 minutes to speak. Plats, rezoning, revised master plans, and street namings require a public hearing, after which the Planning Commission will deliberate and render its decision. The passage of any motion shall require the affirmative vote of a simple majority of the members of the commission who are present and eligible to vote. In the case of tie votes on any proposal, the proposal fails. Recusals and abstentions are not counted as a vote. Development plans require a public hearing to provide the public an opportunity to express opinions. However, a vote by the Planning Commission shall not be taken. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. If a motion to deny a request is made, a reason must be given. The members of the Planning Commission are Cruz Reeves, James Reed, Reggie Dunn, Ann Clemens, Garrett Smith, and myself, Leslie Stone. The staff members present are Warren Adams and Tanya Ingram. And tonight, our legal department, we have Andrea Hatchcock. Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 24th?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Unanimous.
Motion passes. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
All right. Item number 1. We have it's presented by Derry West, representing Mohammed Irfan. It's a request recommendation for approval to rezone one lot located on north side of East South Boulevard, approximately 1,300 feet west of Narrow Lane Road, from an O1 zoning district to a B2 zoning district. Is anyone here, Mr. West? Is Mr. West here for item number 1? We will move on to item number 2, presented by Jeffcoat Engineering and Surveyors, representing Jemelle Brooks. It's a request recommendation for approval to rezone property containing 1.9 acres located on the north side of Noble Avenue, between South Perry Street and South Lawrence Street, from B2 commercial to R60 Duplex Residential zoning district to a R60 zoning district. Anyone here from Jeffcoat Engineer and Surveyors? Okay. Item number 3, presented by Goodwyn Mills and Cawood, representing East Chase Land Company. This request is final approval of watermark at East Chase, plat number 1A, located on the south side of East Chase Parkway, approximately 1,400 feet east of East Chase Lane, in a planned unit development zoning district. Yes, ma'am, how you doing?
I'm Judy Jones with Goodwyn Mills and Cawood. We're requesting to replat this out parcel along East Chase Parkway. It's going to be a express oil.
Any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? A motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
I have 5, Mr. Reed.
Opposed?
1, 5, 1, it passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Can you come to the microphone, please, ma'am?
I apologize. I couldn't hear you guys when y'all were talking about the representative for the West, Derry West.
Item number 1.
Number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm here representing for Mr. West.
Okay, item number 1, representing Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to reread the subject?
You've already read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
We are here for the rezoning to be zoned as commercial property.
And this is going to be for childcare?
Correct, correct.
So you wouldn't mind it being qualified for just a childcare then, right?
I'm sorry.
You wouldn't mind it being restricted to just a childcare, right?
But we don't want to be restricted to just the child care,
But all you're putting in is a daycare.
I mean, that was the main purpose for the location.
Yeah. So if it's a daycare center, then you don't mind it being restricted to just a daycare center and nothing else, and not a service station or something.
Well,
Right.
I mean, is there a reason why we got to be restricted?
I'm asking you.
Well, we don't.
I say if it's only going to be for a daycare center, then you don't mind it being restricted for strictly a daycare center then, do you? Or do you have a problem with that?
Well, we don't want to be restricted to just a daycare center, because the daycare center may not rent the facility over.
But if we rezone it for a B2, then that means anything can come in there.
I'm sorry, sir.
If we restrict it to a B2, then that means anything can come in there. But you're saying all you're going to use it for is a daycare, correct?
Well, we don't want to be restricted to just a daycare.
What else would it be?
We've been asked for.
Ma'am, can you speak in the mic?
We've been asked for assistance from certain schools to assist with the students. Also we've been asked for assistance with helping house the homeless. So if we don't get the daycare, then we don't want to be restricted, or do we have to come back?
You have to come back. You have to come back to us. I mean, if
It says childcare.
it says childcare.
Yes,
You
that's.
want to, the intended use of the property is for childcare.
Yes,
Okay,
right now.
childcare.
Yes, right now we do intend to use the property for childcare.
Okay, then you don't mind it being passed for B2 with the restriction as a childcare only then?
Could I ask why we would be restricted?
Well, one of the reasons is because once we rezone you to B2, you can open up an event center, a nightclub. You can do just about anything you want to do, and our hands are tied. And be honest with you, we probably ain't gonna do that.
Well, we don't want to be a nightclub.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
why he asked would you mind being qualified or restricted to a child care.
Okay,
And
so does that mean we can't do just office as well?
If it's a B2, you can't do an office because that's an O1.
Because this is what the petition
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand why we got to be just restricted for childcare.
I didn't say you got to be. I was simply asking. Look, people come in to change stuff to rezone for B2. And we don't want to be misled. It's a child care, and then next week it's a service station, and then after that it's a car wash, and then it just goes on and on and on. That's all we're trying to clarify. If it's going to be a child care, then okay, that's fine. Then we're restricted to a child care.
And that's what the petition.
But right now it's going to be a childcare. I mean, it couldn't be anything other than a childcare or office the way the building is equipped.
Okay, then
It's a whole doctor's office.
then you don't mind it being restricted to a child care.
Okay, so if we need to change it, we just come back and make
Yes.
another request?
Yes.
Okay, then that's fine.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions from the planning commission?
I don't have anything else.
Do we have anyone in the audience with any questions or comments? Is there a move to approve?
Move to approve with the qualification as a child care only.
Second.
All in favor?
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you qualify it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on number 4, right, Tanya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Presented by Larry Speaks and Associates, representing Montgomery County Commission. Request final approval of Montgomery County Commission property plat number 1 located on the east side of Woodley Road, approximately 1,000 feet south of East South Boulevard. Yes, sir.
Stephen Speaks with Larry Speaks and Associates. The county commission is platting this unplatted piece of property for a community center there on Woodley Road, just south of the Southern Boulevard.
Any questions from the planning commission? Any questions from anyone in the audience? Yes, ma'am. Come up to the microphone, please. Give us your name and address.
Sir, can you give me the exact address of that property?
Ma'am, can we get your name and address, please?
I'm sorry. Loretta Hill, 1 Eagleton Road, Montgomery, Alabama.
Ma'am, if you look at the map up there, it's outlined in red.
I live off of Woodland Road, but I'm concerned because I have a daycare center at 3100 Woodley Road. I can't tell from the map where you're located. I'm at that corner. Across the street. Okay, no further questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions from anyone in the audience? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Unanimous.
Number 6 is also Mr. Larry Speaks and Associates, representing Larry Williams. Request final approval of Larry Williams plat number. Oh, we on the plat? This is right. Oh, we on the C. Oh, sorry, we're on number 5. Sorry. And it's a request for final approval of Larry Williams plat number 1A located on the northeast corner of Fuller Road and Willie Washington Street in a AGR2 zoning district.
So Stephen Speaks representing Mr. Williams. This is the overall piece of land has set up with 4 structures, 3 mobile homes and a residence, 3.43 acres total. He wants to divide that into individual lots to sell those parcels off. That's the reason in the replat.
Any questions from anyone on the planning commission? Any questions from the audience? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Number 6. Number 6, presented by Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering, representing Faithful Gospel Church. It's a public hearing for a development plan for a building to be located at 1931 Highland Avenue in an institutional zoning district. Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Chris Bostic. I'm with Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering, and I'm representing Faithful Gospel Church. There was a fire a few years back that destroyed one of their buildings. That building has been demolished and they are building a new addition to replace it. And this is the development plan for that.
Do we have any questions from the planning commission?
Did you say an addition?
Yes, sir. If you look at the third page, if you go up two, I think, or back one, sorry. On this one right here, in your handout, it's the green box, it's the new addition.
Okay.
There we go. That'll be the new addition.
Any more questions from the planning commission? Do we have anyone in the audience with any questions? A public hearing has been held. Thank you. Item number 7 is also presented by Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering, representing FHM Company. It's a request for final approval of County Downs Plat Number 22, located at the eastern end of Paddock Lane in an R75 zoning district.
Thank you, Commissioner. Royal Dumas, Rushton, Saker, Johnson, and Garrett, here for FHM property. Have to say, I think we're doing better. Less people here, and maybe they're just big Boise State fans, but this is a request for a final plat. We've been here before. I know y'all remember. I think that to kind of address on the front end 2 questions I know I'm going to get. One is a traffic study for the overall project that's been complete. We provided to the city. Traffic study realized no significant issues with the traffic. One issue with one street, they recommended to put a traffic prevention area, and the city wants to compress those lanes, so I think we're good on that. The second is the hydrology study. That's been done. Mr. Bostic is completing and finalizing that. It meets all requirements the city has. Once the city gets that final project, if they don't like it, we can't start building. So we're here today to get the final approval on plat number 22. I know there's some questions from some of the members of County Downs, so I'll leave it to that.
Okay, do we have any questions from anyone on the planning commission before we go to the audience?
Why did you look at me when you said that question?
Because you asked the best questions, Commissioner Reed.
No questions? Do we have anyone in the audience with any questions? Please give us your name and address.
I'm Michael Horn. I live at 663 Keeneland Way in County Downs. Thank you for the opportunity. We had a meeting of the neighborhood on Monday preparing for this, and there were some questions that came up that we would like to address and talk about. Number one, the neighborhood was a little bit concerned about the work hours. You know, could it be limited as an example from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 5 a.m. to 6 something, so that we would know what those are. And we would also, the kids that are playing, you know, we can make sure they're not where they're not supposed to be during those times. And number two, who would be responsible for the upkeep of the detention pond? And is there an estimated cost for that? The third question that we had is, where is the construction entrance to be? County Downs Road or other places? And if County Downs Road is the area for the construction entrance, or other existing roads that are in use today are damaged during the construction process, who's going to be responsible for repairing those roads? He's already answered. My next one is about the traffic study, which he has already answered. interested in the size of the homes that are being built due to the backing up to the current homes that are in the neighborhood. The lot sizes are the same. So that was, I don't know if that's something they can address. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I talked to Mr. Horn before, and I think I've got answers to all except for one question. The last one's a new one, but I'll attempt to answer that. The times of construction are normal business hours. I think Mr. Horn realizes, and anyone in construction realizes, that can be from 6 to 6. You want to minimize you're having your workers working at times where it's not midday heat, but it'll be normal business hours for that. We will use County Downs Road for the ingress and egress for the construction. If there is damage to the road, we have something we can definitely agree on with all the residents of County Downs. That will be fixed by the construction company. So the developer and the residents will agree to that. And Mr. Horn has said that they'll take pictures and know what that is. And if there's issues with it, we'll back them on having the construction company fix those. And hopefully there will not be any. As to the HOA, it will have its own HOA. Obviously, if the other residents of County Downs wants to join in and pay those costs, we'd be willing to listen to them, but I assume that they want those people living in that section to pay for it, and that's how it's envisioned with the HOA, so it would not be a mandatory increase on HOA fees for those spots. The last question, and which was not in the email, but is the size of the homes. And all I can say to that is those homes will be built to be as large as they can be within those plots, because we're trying to effectuate the biggest profit that can be done. But at this point, we don't have building plans on the size of those buildings, so I can't give you a definite answer on square footage.
He also had a question about the detention pond, who was gonna be responsible for that? Or?
Yeah, that's on the HOA side.
Okay.
That would be just the in this plat who would have that, unless they wanted to volunteer to pay extra money for that. And I would note, one of the issues on this is the connectivity that the Fox Hollow residents have had, especially there at Fox Hollow. This would mean that Fox Hollow would never extend into County Downs because of the way that detention pond is designed.
When do you plan to start this project?
We plan to have the civil plans in for review by the city within the next couple of weeks. I think pretty much as quickly as they can get approved and the contractor can move forward, they're wanting to start.
Well, going back to the question that the gentleman had about the time of day that the trucks are going to be going in and out. Well, we're going to be going into the fall and into the winter. And you got kids, parents taking the kids to school back and forth and all that during that 7 to 8 o'clock or whatever time that is. There's no way for you guys to kind of work with that time and kind of work with the neighbors going to and from school?
I think we could work with the neighbors, but, with the builder not having signed on, and I hate to speak for him, but there's not going to be people driving around in dump trucks at midnight, if that's what you're concerned about.
No, I'm not talking about midnight. I'm talking about going school time. I'm talking about school time.
Like 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I think I can't speak for who this builder's going to be, not knowing who it is and what their normal operation is. With the limited time, meaning 2 weeks that I worked construction, we had to be at the shop at 4:30 or 5, and we were on the project when daybreak came. So I think that there's probably going to be prior to that, but I can guarantee you this, is that if there is issues with the homeowners on those traffic things, that we will put a good faith effort to resolve those during the construction period.
Is that good for you? Okay.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, sir, what did you say your name is?
Royal Dumas.
Dumas?
Yes, sir.
Is this plat gonna have covenants?
I'm sure it will.
Yes, all of the new properties that are going to be built in County Downs that we're talking about in the separate homeowner association, they will have their own covenants, their own homeowner association and everything else.
Because County Downs don't have covenants.
Pardon?
I was wondering because County Downs does not have covenants.
I don't think they've been finalized, but they will have covenants. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I wasn't going to speak, but based on what's been said, I want to add a couple of things. My name is Richard Dean. I live at 612 Keeneland Way. The County Down Homeowners Association now is voluntary. It's not required. We don't have mandatory dues. You don't have assessments like some of these places do. This is the first I've heard tonight about a HOA for this new neighborhood. We're only talking about 31 lots, 31 houses. So if they're going to, quote, turn everything over to the new HOA that doesn't even exist, and there's no mandatory dues, you only got 31 houses, that's going to not work. It's going to be a flop. You're talking about letting this detention pond be the responsibility of the HOA that doesn't exist yet, and it's not mandatory anyway. So I just want to throw that out so you know. Secondly, I've heard a little bit today about construction entrance and coming in and going out. And if you would flip up to the next map, I want to show you something. There's 3 or 4 pages. That's 7C. Do you have a 7B or 7A? Right there, right there. If you'll take, and I'm using left, right instead of north, south. The very left-hand side of that where you got the little semicircle, and I think I read something about possible future development there. That street, if you go to the left, which I believe east, west, it'd be north. If you're going north, along the north, that runs straight out to the Atlanta Highway, and that goes through the Marshall property. They could easily extend the road down to the Atlanta Highway and come right in at that end to bring all the construction traffic in, and to avoid coming through the neighborhood. They can go whatever hours they want. They can come in at 4 a.m. And by the way, they've been bringing trucks in at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. to clear the lot. If all the timber that's been cleared has been 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. trucks, because I go to work about 5 a.m. and I see the trucks coming in. Now, they're not disturbing anybody and they're not very loud and they hadn't torn up the road. But when you turn contractors loose, they can come and go at any time they want. Well, if they, and you know, they've got a semicircle there as though they might extend that. It's no cul-de-sac like up on the south end. It's got to be a cul-de-sac there because you got houses all around it. They could very easily extend it all the way down the Atlanta Highway and have all the construction traffic come in and out, you know, if they wanted to, because that's Marshall property. They don't have to make it a road. They can just have it a construction entrance, like you have some of these. I'm thinking of this area on Narrow Lane Road. Used to be the old Woodley Country Club, not Woodley, the old Standard Country Club. They have a construction entrance that's different from the homeowner's entrance. So they could do that if they wanted to. I just throw that out at you because if those are ideas that are being discussed now, there's a lot of ways to fix the problem and, you know, make the homeowners happy. And so I just throw that out at you. I'll add one more thing. In the big 85 acres that they got approved had a detention pond on it that had absolutely just gone to heck in a handbasket. It hadn't been maintained. I'm talking about now 25 years ago when they first developed the entire area. So I know that if you don't put the time and money and attention into a pond, it's not going to be kept up. So that was a good question, but I don't think we have a good answer. So that's just for whatever consideration you can give it. Thank you.
Hey, let's be clear about one thing, everybody. Now, an HOA is mandatory.
No.
Neighborhood association is not mandatory. Neighborhood association is voluntary, but a HOA.
Well, Commissioner Reed, there are two possibilities of this, and I think, and I was going to address this after Mr. Dean spoke. The HOA that is currently in place for the residents of County Downs is not a covenant that's required. They are a voluntary association.
That's a neighborhood association.
Well, they call it an HOA. What we're going to put here will have an HOA that is required in the covenants. So they will be responsible for the cost of that, maintaining the whatever public aspects of that plat are. Now, second, you have another question?
No, I'm just saying, so you're saying that when they sign for whatever home they buy, then they're gonna have to sign on as an HOA, which means that they're gonna have to pay the HOA every month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Required.
Commission. I'm making you more esteemed.
Yes,
Commission,
okay.
yes, absolutely. When they go sign all those papers that nobody reads, there's gonna be a title, and on that title, it's gonna say that they're subject to that HOA, and they're required to do that.
I just
Yes.
want to make sure everybody understands that,
Yes.
that there's a difference between neighborhood association and HOA.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
About the extending County Downs, you've already approved the overall plat, and what Mr. Dean is asking you to do is go back and invalidate that, and we just can't do that. Now, there could be some discussions about that. The other issue is the property that Mr. Dean says that we can go over, and I get this, is that that property is owned by a marshal, and there are marshals who are part of this ownership group, and it's easy to conflate the two. But I guarantee you my sister is not going to let me do things on her property that she doesn't want to do. There is a separation of that. And that's why we got this approved plat. So I think the construction issue is somewhat of a red herring, especially since we were here a couple of months ago for another portion, and both the County Downs people and the neighbors around that association wanted us to use County Downs for construction. So we're kind of getting it both ways. I think the construction will have some effect, but it's going to be very minimal, and I think we'll work to minimize that as much as possible. I guarantee that to you.
And I think that's what we're asking, is that you work with them with the construction issue, going in and out and all of that. Just work with them so that they won't be up at 5 o'clock.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay.
Oh, we have one more. Step up to the mic and give us your name and address, please.
My name is Danita Rose, address 4624 Turfway Park, County Downs.
Yes,
Thank you. I do have a question. I heard the comments in reference to the square footage of the homes, in as much as we know that it's 31 and we know that they are going to have their own HOA. It'll be an extension of County Downs. There's no minimum amount. You're not sure of the minimum footage of the homes there?
Come up to the
She
mic.
needs to address
Yeah, we don't know if there is a minimum, but obviously if there's a minimum requirement, we would meet those that requirement.
Come to the mic, speak to us, not to
I
him.
thought maybe they would have had that information already in the plans, and as much as you presented those. That's all. Thank you.
But I can give you your number, I can call you tomorrow and give you that information.
Great.
But the lot size will be 75 feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
5,
Unopposed?
1, motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 8 is presented by Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering, representing Baran Patel. Public hearing for a development plan for a new building to be located at 6085 Mobile Highway in an M1 zoning district.
Yes, this is Chris Foster, Goodwyn and Bostic Engineering again. This project has been going on for 3 years due to securing an ALDOT entrance, which has taken longer than we thought. But the reason it's coming back today, even after the city already approved it, is because it took so long that the city's approval expired. And so we had to resubmit the development plan again. So we're back here for that.
Do you have the LDOT issue lined up?
Pardon?
Do you have the LDOT issue lined up?
Yes, sir. The bonds have been submitted. We're just waiting for the final approval sent to us.
Any more questions from the Planning Commission? Do you have any questions for anyone in the audience? A public hearing has been held. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, we're not through
Oh,
yet.
something else
We got
on there.
one text.
Number 9.
It's gonna be Warren.
Number 9 is presented by the Land Use Division, representing the City of Montgomery. Request recommendation of approval of a text amendment to the City Code Appendix C zoning Article 2. Enforcement Section 4, certificate of occupancy required. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Warren Adams, Interim Planning Director. This is a request for a text amendment to the code, Appendix C, Zoning Article 2, Section 4. And the wording that is actually being added, as you'll see in front of you, are items number 1 and 2. So Section A is existing, and items 1 and 2 are being proposed to be added. This basically allows the issuance of a temporary certificate of occupancy for a project. And the reason for this is there have been several occasions when we have these very large developments, such as Diageo and places like that, where the buildings themselves are actually complete and safe, and they wish to go in and calibrate equipment and train staff, but maybe the landscaping isn't completed, or maybe there are certain site elements that have not been completed. So this would basically allow the building official, who's here if you have any questions, to allow a temporary certificate of occupancy if, in his opinion, the building is safe to actually use, but there may be some exterior elements that require to be completed. And this is obviously a huge benefit to the companies, because they can get in there, they can get their staff trained, they can get their equipment calibrated. But this also allows for the revocation of that temporary CO if, in the opinion of the building official, the information we've been given has not been correct, or it's been issued in error, or if the building or structure is in violation of the code. And this could also result in the business license being automatically revoked or suspended as well. So that's what we're proposing. We can answer any questions, or the building official is here if you have any questions for him.
Any questions from the Planning Commission?
So basically, you're giving them a temporary building certificate, and if they don't take care of what needs to be done, then you can revoke it.
No, the building will have to be safe.
Yeah,
obviously.
that's what I mean. But
Yeah.
but there's some minor issues that need to be taken care of, and if they don't take care of it within X amount of days that you agree.
Yeah, and it's also likely that, say there's a significant amount of landscaping that's left to be done, we would also have them post a bond to secure that work does get done. But this basically just allows the operation of the building if there are still things like, trees to be planted, final sod to be put down. But yeah, the building must be safe and occupiable, certainly, to get this.
I think he
Good evening. I'm Marcus Dean, Chief Building Official for the City of Montgomery. Just wanted to echo the things that Warren mentioned. The first and foremost is that the building has to be deemed safe for programming or for use, and it would only be for a set period of time. And that's one of the reasons why we didn't set 30, 60, 90, because it's going to be, each project is unique, and so it's going to be based on certain conditions are met. But it just gives the City of Montgomery, through our office some flexibility for some of your larger developments that do require some time for programming the space for use before they're finally ready to open for the public. And we think this is an opportunity that gives us that flexibility for larger developments or any developments where we have deemed the structure is safe for occupancy first and foremost, and secondarily just really some more of your miscellaneous items may pertain to the exterior, but all of your life safety systems are in place, so there's no threat for public use.
Thank you, sir. Are you the new Robert?
No, Kippy has moved as the director of, Tate has moved as the director of pipe, so I'm filling that role that he once held.
Thank you, sir. I'm just checking.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did number 2 show up?
Did number 2 show up?
No, ma'am.
No.
Meeting